Right. Hi everyone. So this is where we stopped in our previous video. We created this intersection, transformed it to a signalized intersection, and like simulated same vehicle. Now that what we want to do is we want to add a public transport operation also embedded to this simulation. So we are trying to bring it as another layer. So the idea is we want to add a bus stop somewhere here, and then run a public transport operation. Let's say a one bus route uh, running here, right? So let's see how we can do that. Let me keep this SUMO's configuration file as is. Let me go back to my network, right? Because I want to add a public transit stop or bus stop. Right. So the way that you can do it is simply you can see there's a uh, um, what you call additional mode. You can see a bus halt sign. Usually you see this in European countries kind of a logo here, like with the H. So click on that, right? So the default is a bus stop, but other than that, you have other options like train stop, parking area, or charging station, right? So a lot of other additional modes that you can find, right? But now in this case, we are going to look at how to insert a bus stop. So select that. Um, and by default it adds an ID, right? In this case it's added bs underscore 0, and as an additional information you can give a bus stop name, right? So mm, uh, let's say example bus stop, right? So that's the stop name, right? So then also you can define what are the lines that are moving. Let's say that kind of line, these are the lines that are moving here, right? So different bus routes, right? These are like kind of metadata, right? Not mandatory. uh, in addition, you have some more information that you can add, right? So person capacity. uh, so if you hover over, you can see also the details of it. uh, right, so this is when you're simulating you know the passengers also, like person capacity, those parameters or attributes comes into play. You can set the length of the bus stop. Let's say this is a 15-meter bus stop, right? Um, and yeah, and then once you do that, you can actually click on the network. Let's say I want to place the bus stop somewhere here. So when you click on the bus stop, it actually kind of at the bus stop there. Now this is obviously on the middle of the road, right? So, and also just to show you, if you have a, like, what do you call, so called increase the size of it, right? So you can see the bus lines are also displayed kind of as meta information. But if I kind of hit F5, or rather recompute, uh, it should be showing correctly, but let's see, like still we have a small issue. We'll see how we can correct it. Now, anyway, so let's try to like move forward with this and see how if there are any issues we can solve it later. So now I want to save this bus stop as another file. Basically it's another additional file, right? So you can see here additionals and shapes. uh, Earlier we saved as a traffic light, so that's a different additional file. This time you have additional and shapes. Under that you have with this bus hold icon. So this is where you need to extract this file, or rather save this content of the bus stop information. You have to save it into another file. So additionals and shape, save additionals as. I'll go inside. I'll save it inside the additional folder itself. Let's say bus. Let's say bus, right? Keep it safe, right? So now what you will be seeing in your VS Code inside additional, right? You can see a bus stop is created, right? And you see the meta information is also like kind of shown, which is okay. Let's keep it like this. Now I want to simulate bus flow here, right? So to do that, you see how we can do it. We Now that we have the bus stop with us, we can kind of to this XML file, we can add the bus strips, right? Uh, let's say, right, right. So now to add the bus strips, obviously bus is another vehicle, right? It tries to find it, but I think though this is not the exactly, this is not what we want, right? So anyway, so first we have to create the vehicle type of bus, right? So we type, right? Okay, now it's trying to find it, right? So I think it's working with vehicle ID is okay, bus, rather, yeah, yeah. Let's take it, and I'll keep it, do some changes based on my preferences. Vehicle class, let's see, vehicle class, need to find whether that's the correct vehicle class proposed. Let's say vehicle class. Let's try to find out that. Um, right. V class specific, vehicle class, taxi, yeah, bus. So lowercase b. Fine, that's fine. So this is correct. So acceleration, I'm not sure whether the default values, what are the default values? Return type parameters default. Let's see. Yeah, bus. So you can find it from here. Bus. So it has a 1.2 acceleration and deceleration. So I don't think the auto-generated ones are correct. In that case, you can, like, kind of leave them as, I mean, just remove them. Then the default values will be kind of considered. Bus, and the length. Um, Length is 12 meters. Right, fine. Should be okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, depending on, let's say, if you want to, like, uh, give more realistic values, you can also place them, right? For example, based on your country where you're at, the lens, the colors, whatever, you can change it from here, right? So vehicle attributes, anything you can change. Now that you have defined a bus stop, now you need to define, let's say, a bus trip. Or yeah, can define a bus trip. We know how to do it also. But yeah, let's define a bus trip first. I think it auto suggested it, but let's see how we can do it. So trip, let's say bus one. So type is bus. Yeah, depart from, no, this is wrong. So I think my bus has to move from, let's say, E0, E2 route, right? So then it has to be from, let me copy this, from E0, the space, extra space, I have to remove it. E2, yeah, fine. Depart lane, does it need? Yeah, we can keep it. Let's say depart time is at 120th simulation second. It should enter to the simulation. Other things, I don't think those are kind of mandatory, though it's automatically generated. Arrival lane, let's keep it repeated. Let's see. Arrival speed, let's remove that as well. Yeah, anyway, Now let's try and see whether we can simulate this first, right? Whether a bus will enter. All right, why not? It's not shown here because we haven't added the file to our uh, configure what you call the configuration file. So this has to be comma separated, if I'm not mistaken. Let's add that. So from additional file, additional, and then bus.add.xml. So this should work. Let's okay. Now we have a problem. Okay, additional. Let me copy paste this additional from here and paste it here. Then now it should be okay. Okay, now there's error. Value free does not match any member types of this union. So free, whatever the bus I have arrival lane. So these are like, though it's auto generated, that's why you need to check, careful. Okay, fine. It's working now. You see the bus is in the kind of the middle of the rod, but let's see whether, let's simulate and see whether how does it look like. So it comes at 120th simulation second. Let me like slowly run this now, right? So okay, there comes the bus, right? Now it doesn't stop, right? Because we haven't defined that. We have added a bus stop, but we haven't defined how the bus or rather the stopping attributes of it, or the stopping behavior, so to speak, hasn't been given there, right? So now we what we do now is so we need to define that particular stop within the trip itself. So the trip includes the stopping behavior as well. So at the moment it's just one single trip, one single like we have defined the trip only without indicating the stopping behavior. So to do that we need to kind of do some modifications to this one, right? So let's see how we can do it. I would do this change, right? So yeah, now we can add the stop. Oops. Yeah, stop, and then you have to end the trip tag, right? Yeah, there you go. So bus stop, that's fine. BS, it's not BSC, it's BS0, correct? And let's say it's stopping for like 25 seconds, right? And now let's reload the simulation and see whether that works. So let's wait till 120th simulation second. Yep, there it comes. Okay, so let's slowly move it. Okay, now it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it stops for like and then moves, right? Now the issue is now the bus stop is in the middle of the lane. Now that's the next problem we have to solve, right? So if you look at the lane here, it's called E2 underscore 1, right? The bus stop is on E2 underscore 1. Okay, there's another bus stop added. That's by my mistake. Let's go back to the inspect mode and let's hit this bus stop, right? So it's on E2 underscore 1, right? So now you can move the element down in one lane, right? If I click this button, now it moves to this side, right? So now actually this is where the bus stop has to be, right? So you can move that from here. And I think since I saved it, it should be automatically updated, but let's see. Don't think so. Refresh. Let's close it and come back. No, it's not updated, so you have to go back, additional files, save additionals. So you can save additionals. That should work. And let's come back and see this. Oh, sorry. I think everything is gone. Okay. So you need, let's better to manually change this, right? E to 0, right? Let's not. Uh, yeah, save this and let's go back to our simulation and then reload this. And now you see bus stop is here. Right, so I think we haven't seen even the buses arriving. Let's see again. Okay, there it comes, it stops, it moves. Right, fine, it's working fine. Right. Let just to keep things a bit more interesting, we'll add another bus trip that is coming from the other side, right? Coming from E, let's say E1. Say this, make a quick stop, 15-second stop, and then it departs at, I don't know, like 100 simulation second, right? And can I, yeah, let's keep it like that also, and we'll try to add a bus flow here, right? See, we can do that. uh, yeah, so we'll do a bus flow as well, or rather first we'll run this and then see how we can add a bus flow. Okay, there's an issue, bus one already exists because you can't have you can repeat the same ID multiple times, so let's call it 2. It's fine. Let's go and reload it. Yeah, it should work. Yeah, let me rerun this so that you can see. I think it's running too fast. Yeah, there you go. Let's run this. 100 simulation the bus comes, and okay, it's stopped. Okay, now it's also stops and it moves. Right, fine. So now let's add a bus flow, right? So let's say flow, rather here flow. Yeah, and I think better to add the end flow tag also here at the same time, and then this, and then let me define this flow. ID, let's say ID equal, okay, let's take this part as is. Let me call this as bus flow. Yeah, let's begin at 0 and let's go back to, like, 2500 simulation seconds, let's say, like, like 10 buses. Or rather saying route, let's say from and to, from. Okay, let me take this as is, or rather let me take this because it has, right, should work, and then it has to be a bus, obviously. Depart lane free, red green, so it's a green plus, let's use red bus. Yeah, and each bus is stopped for like in seconds, let's say, right? Duration, so bus stop 0. Yeah, this should work. Okay, now we have another additional bus, additional file, column 2358. I don't know what the error is. Okay, it has to be from. Yeah, should work now. Let's see. Okay, that's another. Okay, let's take a step backward and observe this clearly. Okay, there's a issue here. Should be that. Let's close the tag. Delete this one. Oh, okay. Where is that? Okay. Hmm. Stock bus stop PS0 duration 25. Okay, flow. Okay, this hasn't been closed. Okay, now let's see. It's okay. So run this. Now see a stream of buses enter into the simulation, right? At sort of a defined gap, right? So we have defined the flow and the number of the duration. So based on that, it kind of you know at a determined or like equal intervals, the vehicles enter to the simulation, right? So yeah, so I don't know whether another bus comes. Anyway, so that's the idea, right? So now, so this is the kind of the entire workflow, or rather the basic setup that I wanted to show, right? So you start with a network, and then gradually you add layer by layer to the SUMO configuration file, right? So the SUMO configuration file, the minimum inputs are the network file and the root file, and then later you can add the additional files and kind of add different elements into it, right? So I hope you found this session useful. If you are new to SUMO and if you're planning to start and to get an idea how this different element works, I hope this series of videos were helpful for you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section. And if you like these videos, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.